Hey, what's up, everybody? I am live again. I am live. Let me fix my hair a little bit so I look extra smooth for y'all. You know what? I might do the hat. I just did my hair, but I don't know, man. Anyway, here. A lot of y'all like the hat. So, Indiana Jones in here. Shout out to my Indiana Jones fans. So, um, today's webinar, I figured I'll do it here. If you missed the call with Carl earlier, make sure you check that out. We had a really great conversation earlier today. I think it was 4 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you check that out. That's on my, actually, it's all over the place. So it's a lot of value that was shared there and a lot of things that were said that will help you and also motivate you, hopefully, especially if you want more out of life and you want more money, you want to do things you never done before, start your own business, run your own business. You know, it doesn't matter what you want. It's just you want more out of life in general and get out of the current circumstances that you are in. And you're looking for change, you're looking for more. All right. So check that out. Let me check something right quick before I continue. So I want to make sure. Yeah. Carl Gray the third. I believe Carl, you're a junior too, right, bro? So anyway, check that out. That is on my. It's everywhere. My private Facebook group. If you haven't joined the private Facebook group, feel free to just you know accept the invite that I sent you. That's been sitting there, or reach out to me, and I'll just send. You can message me on Messenger, obviously, and this is actually on my YouTube page too, my music YouTube page. The reason why I'm doing this here on the um music page as well is because this is about life. You do music, this applies to any human being that has blood in their veins and air in their lungs. So I really wanted to do this particular lesson and just kind of tap into some information. It's so vital and so important, and it's extremely important because I said important twice, and that was actually the spirit talking to me because it's deliberate. It's so important to study yourself. It's important to learn about yourself. It's important to learn about why things are happening in your life. It's important to wonder why you're at the same salary for the last 5 years or just stagnant. Nothing really happens in your life. But you desire more, but you wish for more and you hope for more. I was listening to an audio today. Mere hopes or wishes, right? Most people hope and wish for things to be different or to achieve a certain thing. But you know what? When you really think about it, that's the average way of thinking. And I know a lot of you aren't average that will watch this because you attracted this video. That's the law of attraction. Like you're watching it because you needed to hear it. The universe or God wanted you to hear something that I have to say today. So, before I go on a long intro, as usual, I promised myself not to be long tonight. So, let me share my screen and jump right into what I'm going to talk about. And you see it, your infinite mind. So, let me share my window. Let me open it up right quick. There you go. Sure, enable editing, whatever. This is way too much stuff happening right now. I don't know why it's doing that, but anyway. So let me share the window. All right. So this is very PowerPoint. What are you doing? Oh. Oh yeah, I forgot I did that. So this is actually there we go. Your infinite mind. It's lesson 3 of thinking into results. It's actually a really profound program that I facilitate and help people grow with it. and see the greatness that they have within, because greatness is our birthright. We're meant here to create and to be the best version of ourselves. So, you don't even need to learn about the agenda, because this is more structured for like clients of mine. So, shout out to my clients, and wishing you continued growth. And I give every being of me to help people with this information every time. So, hopefully, you're getting value from these videos. I decided not to do it on the scheduled meetup and bring it right here on Facebook. Even though I went live already, I'm here doing this again, because I already know a lot of you need some help. A lot of you are searching, and you're like, I'm not getting the results that I want. I'm not making the money that I want. I don't have the time that I want. All I do is work and come home and I'm tired and whatever. This is, you have to have a desire for change. And the desire to change is within you. And that's why you attracted this. This is not by accident. This is on purpose. So, anyway, introduce lesson 3, your infinite mind. Review lesson 2, worksheets, watch the lesson video, and cover the key points. Worksheet introduction, wrap up. The worksheets are actually for active clients, so I'll fly right over those slides, and that's not for you, because you have to take the decision to call me, and I have to see if this is good for you, if this will actually benefit you, and see if you're a good fit for it. Okay? A lot of you won't call me. A lot of you won't comment. A lot of you won't like, or you can't even unlike on Facebook. So it doesn't matter to me. What matters is who I impact and who I help. That's what matters to me. But you got to reach within and see if you're ready, for change. A lot of you aren't. You'll just watch. So, the intuitive mind. I like to start this with a great quote. The intuitive mind is a sacred gift, and the rational mind is a faithful servant. We have created a society that honors the servant and has forgotten the gift. Now, the intuitive mind, your intuition, it's sacred, right? Which is the metaphysical and your intellectual faculties. The rational mind is the servant. Now, this is Albert Einstein's quote, but what that means is your rational mind. We've created a society that honors the servant. The servant is the rational mind. You're so rational. Like, Jamil, I have to work tomorrow. I don't know why you're doing this at 7 o'clock. I have to eat. This will take forever to do. Those dreams and goals that you have in your mind, you think that's by accident? So, the rational mind, you created something that's rational as a servant, which limits you tremendously. You're limited by just being rational. Bob always talks about being irrational. The greatest things accomplished in this world that we take for benefit is irrational thinking. You have to step out of your irrational mind. You have to go beyond where you are. The Wright brothers, I always like bringing them up. Everyone flying all over the damn place, all over the country, in different countries, all over the place in airplanes from an irrational mind. Everyone told them you can't fly in the air. There were bicycle mechanics. Their own father was some type of bishop, and said, you'll go to hell if you think about flying. And look at us taking it for granted, flying in the air, whether you're coach or first class, it doesn't matter, but you're on that plane in the air. They didn't believe that could happen. That's an irrational mind. Steve Jobs, iTunes, Colonel Sanders, KFC, Walt Disney. Let's throw George Lucas in there. You keep naming them. They were all Thomas Edison. They're all irrational thinking. They got out of the faithful servant. That's what our society does. We're focused on rational thinking, and that keeps you comfortable, and it keeps you limited and keeps you safe. because everyone around you would think you're crazy because you had this beautiful dream of doing something outside of the rational. All right. Worksheet review lesson 2, the knowing doing gap. I talked with Carl earlier about this. Um, and it was funny how he responded. He was saying, like, I threw some type of little shade there because a lot of people know so much, all these smart people that have so much to say, but they don't do anything and have mediocre results. All right. So I don't even know if I'm sharing my screen. I don't care. You don't need to see me, you just need to hear me. So describe a situation where you are currently not getting the results you like. Now describe the situation the way you truly like it to be. Highlight the actions in each scenario and divide them into 2 categories. NPAs is non-productive activities, and PAs are productive activities. Write 6 action steps you can take right now to move towards turning your NPAs into PAs. Now, this was lesson 2. This is an exercise where you're creating, basically you're writing action steps that will switch your non-productive activities. Over 90% of you that watch this have tremendous non-productive activities. After you work, you don't want to do nothing, right? So we're non-productive. We'll scroll through social media. We'll look at, my wife likes clothes and shoes, so she'll look at that. Not putting her out there. I mean, in my downtime, I used to play video games or just watch TV. A lot of you watch a lot of streaming stuff, Hulu, Netflix, HBO Max, Amazon, whatever, right? The Fire Stick, all that crap. So, non-productive activities. Those activities are keeping you where you are. Now, this is about changing them into productive activities. So, this is actually a commitment statement. I know, whatever, I don't want to say another percentage, but basically, I state your name, am committed to taking the following action step this week. State the action step, signature, and date it, because you're holding yourself accountable. Um, this is about people that really want change, and not everybody does. All right. So this particular um, accountability statement is for you holding yourself accountable. But I'll skip that slide because I know a lot of you don't. I sound so bitter. Your infinite mind, using your mind to get the results that you want. So I'm gonna stop there. I'm gonna share a little bit of the video. Um, but it's all right. I know a lot of. Let me stop sharing. I know a lot of people aren't ready for change, but it's frustrating because I see a lot of people reach out to me with different questions, and I see the growth they're seeking, but they don't see it themselves. And it's like I've seen people try to push a mule, and that mule would not move, but it knew that it needed to move or it's going to die of thirst, right? So the thirst you're seeking is the growth that you're seeking. But I know it's stopping you, from moving forward. So let me share a little bit of the video from Bob. Oh, I forgot to go on live in Instagram. Maybe I'll go live in a second and just kind of wrap it up with the keywords. So let me share a little bit of the video explaining more in depth your infinite mind, and hopefully you get something out of it. Okay. So let me share my screen and audio. My daughter's watching this funny cartoon. So here, enjoy.
Hello, this is Sandy Gallagher welcoming you back to another powerful lesson of thinking into results. By now, you should be deep into thinking about your mind and how it got you to where you are today. In this lesson, Bob is going to show you how to turn the habits that are holding you back into the thoughts that will change your behavior and create new paradigms show you how to turn the habits that are holding you back into the thoughts that will change your behavior and create new paradigms, one habit at a time. How do you know that your paradigms are not the right ones? You just look at your results that you're getting. Are they positive? Are they really what you want? If not, then open your mind and look at this powerful way of creating more favorable results. When I started this program, I remember thinking that I had learned how to think in law school, but I certainly didn't learn how to think this way. And I sure wish that I had a long time ago. You're very lucky, because thinking into results will get you on the right path quickly. You're on your way to getting what you want sooner rather than later.
Well, here we are back again. Are you ready to make a big change in your life? Because if you are, this is the lesson that's going to do it. As you really understand what we're going into here, you're going to realize that you're going to get the keys to the kingdom. This is the lesson that'll show you how to step out and do the thing you've always wanted to do. Now, we've had a lot of talk about paradigms. Paradigms literally control everything in our life. Paradigms dictate our logic. You see, when the Wright brothers introduced us to a new kingdom, they were the only one thought that was a logical thing to do. Everybody else said it's illogical, you just can't do it. At one time, it was believed that the world was flat. That was our logic. And of course, there's a good argument as to why that's logical. I mean, how would the people live on the side of the world or on the bottom? They'd fall off, wouldn't they? Do you see how logic keeps us wired where we are? Well, you know, as the paradigms change, your logic will change. See, it's totally illogical for people to believe that we could improve by 200 or 500%. 5 or 10% is logical. 200, 500, illogical. Your paradigm controls your logic. So what we're going to do to change the paradigm is illogical. It doesn't make any sense. Now, you see, I did this many years ago. I didn't understand what I was doing. I didn't even understand why I kept doing it. It doesn't make any sense to read a book through the second time, the third time, the fourth time, the 24th time, the 124th time. I mean, we've been programmed. You read a book and you put it down. You've read the book. Tell me what's in the book. We can give you certainly an outline of what it's about. But we wouldn't think going back and read it over and over and over again. Let me tell you something. I've been reading this particular copy of this book every day since 1963. Now, the book has fallen apart. Somebody will say, is that the Bible? Well, it's my Bible, I guess. It's Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. He spent his whole life putting this together, studying 500 of the world's most effective individuals. And my reasoning went like this after I was reading it for a while. If he spent his whole life writing it, I think I'll spend my whole life reading it. It's helped me earn millions of dollars. It's made me a very happy human being. I've got all kinds of energy. I have friends all over the world. I think I'll keep reading it. Now, it doesn't make any sense. People say, why do you read the same thing over and over again? Well, for a long time, I didn't know what the answer was. I was listening to a recording, a talk record. You see, Earl Nightingale condensed that book and narrated it onto a record. And I just kept reading it over and over, and I kept listening to the record. I drove around with a battery-operated record player in my car, not a good thing to do, trying to keep the needle balanced on the record. And people say, well, why do you keep listening to that? And I really didn't know. I really did not know. Now, what was on the record didn't change. It was a record. It was a man talking. It was one of the first talking records that come out. It was a long time ago. But you know what I was doing? I was changing my paradigm. Changing my paradigm. My income went from $4,000 a year to millions. Now, that can happen to anyone. I have watched students in school go from failing grades to honors by changing the paradigm. I watched one of the largest insurance companies in the world, the Prudential. I watched their sales go up by hundreds of millions of dollars by teaching their people how to change the paradigm. And that's what I want to teach you, how to change the paradigm. So let's go back and think of what the paradigm is. Remember we said when you arrived, there was no conscious mind. It was just subconscious. And whatever's going on around you went right into the subconscious. And you see, through repetition, the ideas go into the subconscious. They become fixed in there. That's how you learn a language. We are literally programmed to speak the language we speak. Do you know that if you were born into a home that's bilingual, you would grow up with 2 languages? I do work over in Asia, and I have a chap who's a friend of mine in Kuala Lumpur, has a little boy. At 4, the little boy could speak 4 different languages. It was sort of blowing me away. They thought nothing of it. There's some places where everybody's multilingual because there's all kinds of languages spoken. And you see, the baby doesn't have the ability to say, I can't learn the language, so they learn it. Of course, you didn't have the ability to say, I can't learn the language that I've learned, and so you learn it. Do you know that if you were to take a baby out of a suburb in New York City into an English-speaking family, and put that baby into a home in a suburb of Beijing, that baby'd grow up fluent in Chinese, absolutely no knowledge of the English language. And of course, vice versa. The baby from China would grow up speaking English, no knowledge of the English language. We are a product of our environment. There's no question about it. Now, when ideas go in over and over and over, they become fixed here in the subconscious mind. And you've already looked at that. You've learned that lesson. And it's the fixed ideas that are controlling our behavior. We are literally programmed to live the way we're living. Now, the question is, how do we change it? Well, let's think of it this way. The paradigm controls the behavior produces the result. Now, I want you to take a look at results in your life that you do not like. Understand that there's a law of opposites. So you take a look at the R, you'll see up in the upper left-hand side of the R, there's a minus sign. On the upper right-hand side of the R is a positive sign. Now, your results are either going to be negative or positive. And the fact is, they'll be both. Some results are negative, some are positive. Now, let's suppose that there's a negative with your income. And you want to change your income. You say, well, I can't really change my income because the company dictates how much you're going to earn. Your income does not come from your company. It comes through your company. It comes from one infinite source of supply. And when you change your behavior, your income's going to change. But let's say we'll say that's negative. We write down the income the way it is. And understand that what we've written down is a graphic or a written description of an idea that's fixed in our subconscious mind. Now let's take another sheet of paper and we'll go to the positive side and we write down how we would like it to be and we write it in the present tense. I am so happy and grateful now that, and you write down the result you want. Now this could be in your sales. Maybe your sales aren't just too brilliant. So you write down the sales the way they are. My sales go up and down. When I get ahead, I lose some. I just can't seem to get past a certain point. Now that might be the way it is. So we write that down. And that is a written description of what's programmed here in the paradigm. Then we sit down and we write the positive on another sheet of paper. And we write down the way we'd like our sales to be. I'm so happy and grateful now that effective leads flow to me on a continual basis. My results are continually going up. My sales are getting better every day. I keep becoming more and more effective as a salesperson. Whatever you want, the results you want. Now, take the negative ones and literally burn them. Because that's a habitual way of looking at your sales, and you don't want to do that anymore. Now, does that get rid of the idea in here? No. That's symbolic, though. We're letting it go. Now we've got the positive. Now, do you see, this is the part that's illogical. We have written it out. We should sit down and write that out maybe 100 times every morning and 100 times every night. We should record it. Make a recording of it. I have a recording with respect to money. I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. I just keep saying that. I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. I just keep saying that, you see? And it's the repetition of the idea that eventually takes root in the subconscious mind. And as it gains strength, the negative idea that is already there becomes weaker. Pretty soon, the one takes over and starts to control you, and the other loses control.
All right, I'm gonna stop there. My bad for messing it up towards the end there. I think it was buffering or whatever as soon as I hovered over it. So it's funny how my socket right there shows. That's so funny. So Bob talked about a lot there, and hopefully got something out of that. You notice when you create the new affirmation or the new paradigm, what he's talking about is constant space repetition. And what that is constantly telling yourself the same thing over and over. What you're doing is impressing the subconscious mind. So the subconscious mind is also known as the garden or the womb. And whatever you impress upon it, it shall give birth or shall grow. So that's the feeling mind. You have to really internalize it and feel it when you say it. There's different methods, auto-suggestion, reading it, writing it first, and then reading it and listening to it over and over. But basically what you're doing is rewriting your reality, your mind, and the mind creates your results in physical form. So that's just a little recap of what he's talking about there. As far as changing the what do you call it? Wow, I don't know why it's sharing that. As far as changing the paradigm. What is this doing? Okay, cool. Which means dinner is ready. So let me share the window. What in the world? I don't know why it's doing that. Let me close this. For some reason it wants to share that. I don't know why. Even though I got this window open. So just to cover some key points here, if I can share it. I need to change the settings that I have of the presentation. So apologies for that. But I think I figured it out. Cool. There we go. So some key points here. To establish new, improved, permanent results, you must change your paradigm. Bob talked. Oh God. I really hope I'm not muted. Thank you. Because I talked one time for an hour and I was muted. So some key points here. To establish new, improved, permanent results, you must change your paradigm. Paradigms control our habitual behavior. Basically, it's mental conditioning, that has exclusive control of our behavior. And we do it unconsciously, without any conscious effort. So a paradigm is basically what we do every day, majority, every day, the same thing over and over. If you think about a simple paradigm is like brushing your teeth, with the same hand, or when you put your pants or clothes on, you put a certain leg in first every time, or driving a car. That's a paradigm because you're doing it without conscious effort, especially for those that have been driving for many years. Okay. So for a permanent improvement in results, the paradigm must be changed. And to change paradigms, you must change your habits. A lot of us have good habits and bad habits. The two habits that I focus on changing in my life was waking up early. Many years I stayed up late, many years, many decades. And I realized it doesn't benefit me. It stemmed from doing music for so long, and also, DJ life and producer life, and finding that creativity in the middle of the night. But I realized, the path that I'm on now, it doesn't benefit me. The other thing is being active in the things that I'm passionate about. Thus, why I'm here. Okay, so it's a common error for a person to merely eliminate a negative habit, thinking the results will improve. It has been established that if a negative habit is not consciously and deliberately replaced with a positive habit, another negative habit will automatically replace it. This is basically the law of vacuum. I talked about this. I put a post in the private Facebook group about this. Basically, you're removing things of a lower nature to make room for things of a higher nature. When you remove something, the law of vacuum, nature wants to put something in its place. So that's why, you're removing the negative and replacing it with a positive habit. Okay. So you already know what your vices are, you know what your negatives are that don't produce money for you or produce whatever outcome that you want towards your goal. If you have a goal, you might have a goal in your head, but have you ever written it down? Most of you haven't. Write your goals down. It's very important because without a written goal, you can't revisit it. You have no focus. It's just in your head. And a lot of you think about things and thoughts just come and go, just like clouds in the sky. So to change our results, we should select one or two habits that require changing and immediately begin to move into action. Immediately is very important. So the worksheet introduction, lesson 3, your infinite mind. I talked about browsing over these slides for y'all. I don't mind. Going back to the first exercise, lesson 2, and rewrite the detailed description of the results you're getting that you do not want. Go back to the second exercise in lesson 2 and rewrite all the non-productive activities you identified in as much detail as possible. Then rewrite the detailed description of the results that you do want. Rewrite in as much detail as possible all of the productive activities you identified to replace the NPAs. Take the 2 sheets of paper with unwanted results and the non-productive activities and shred them. You can also burn them, but do it safe. So as you are shredding the sheets of paper, mentally release them. Hold an image of yourself actively involved in the productive activities that you have selected to replace the non-productive activity. Very powerful exercise. I've done that multiple times. It's very therapeutic, and it's also, if you will, reflectionary. So that is the last slide, and I thought I'll share that with you, and hopefully you got something out of it. If you missed this, please watch a replay. And sorry about the video. Somehow I messed up the buffering of it. So as you can see on the screen, that's my Instagram. You can follow me at Believe in the Unseen. Well, this is not about me being on camera. Not about me giving you information. It's about helping you. I sincerely want to help. Sincerely want to help you. That's why I'm on different platforms. I was on 3 calls today, and they're all extremely powerful. And I know a lot of you are really listening now and really, really hearing with your heart. Who has your ear has your life. When you start listening and really listening what's being shared here, that's your life, right? And if you're listening to things that don't bring value to you or help you grow in life or help you get more money or help you get whatever you desire, you're stagnant. And I told on the call today, you either creating or disintegrating. Are you creating the life that you want, or are you disintegrating? And a lot of times, a lot of us are safe. You got a job, you get a paycheck every 2 weeks or whatever you get paid, and you're happy with it. I mean, with the income, you might not be happy with your job, but you're kind of in a prison because you have these goals and these ideas and the things you want to do. Whether it's, a lot of you have great ideas for businesses. Maybe you want to write a book. Maybe you want to, go in manufacturing or real estate. Maybe you want to do a better version of something you already experience in life. So before I go, always reach out to me if this resonated with you, that really spoke to you. If anything on these, I don't know, it's probably an hour or so of videos today online, anything that spoke to you, just reach out. I don't mind talking to you about your goals. A lot of you know me here on Facebook. A couple of y'all know me on YouTube. But like I said earlier in the call, YouTube, I invited y'all because this is life stuff. I don't care if you do music. I don't care if you're an artist. I don't care if you produce or engineer or you're a musician or you have 10 kids. It doesn't matter your past, present, whatever. It's about what you want out of life and if you want more out of life. That's why I'm here. I'm here with an open heart, open mind to, really tap in with where you want to go in life. But you got to have that vision. I can't pull you to your own vision. You got to desire it. So I can talk forever. Food's ready. I'm out of here. Much love to you and yours. And I'll see you next time. All right. Blessings.